Dasung has been playing with fire lately, trying to see what's gonna stick. Well, they're hoping this does. This is the Dasung Not E-Reader 133. It features a 13.3 EINK screen at 207 ppi. Let's go through the checklist. Can you install your own apps? Yes. Does it have Google Play? Yes. Does it have note-taking? No. This unit retails for $8.99 USD. What kind of device is this? Actually, this is a dual-purpose unit and falls into two categories, an e-paper tablet and an e-paper monitor. An e-paper tablet is defined as a traditional Android tablet with apps, games, videos, etc., except features an e-paper screen instead of an LCD LED. An e-paper monitor is a dedicated standalone plug-and-play panel that displays things you plug into it like your smartphone, your PC, your tablet, etc. This is one of those rare devices that actually falls into multiple categories. On to the review. Looking at the device's body construction, it is glass on the front and it is reflective to a certain degree. It's not completely reflective, which I very much appreciate, but it does still reflect quite a bit. They have softened it, however. On this side, you get the power and the volume up and down. On the top, you get the mode change and the contrast up and down. The bottom, where the logo is completely clean. And on the other side, you get all the fun stuff. You get your mini USB, you get your USB-C status indicator light, you have a speaker, 3.5mm headphone jack, and an SD card as well. Dasung is pretty much the most fully loaded line of manufacturers when it comes to features. They're never really going to leave you stranded. You're always going to be just loaded with features from top to bottom. The only downside I would say in your hands is that this thing is grossly overweight. It is extremely heavy, as well as it being kind of fragile because the screen is very much raised around from the aluminum build side construction. Funnily enough, you'll actually see this in the box. I assumed it was a touch pen. It isn't. You'll notice that it has some threading on the back here. This is to utilize it as a stand if you don't want to use this in a case. So that's what that is. On the unit, you'll have your typical top drop down. Now, there are a ton of speed modes here. There's fast, fast plus, 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 plus. There's a lot of pluses. There's contrast. There's image mode. And a lot of these can be toggled at the bottom as well. We'll get into all this when we get into the speed modes, but for now you have your brightness, you have your temperature control, and your contrast dial. You can do a full clear from the bottom and that wipes everything away. This is a really fast unit. Typically Dasung devices are very fast when it comes to refresh. They're in the top 3, but they do still have to give you that clear button in case things get a little messy. I would like to see more companies implement that instead of having it deep hidden behind a floating ball on the screen, because not a lot of people like those floating balls. You get invert colors, which is dark mode, and everything's going to happen very quickly on this device, so just you don't have to worry about having a slow unit when you're in even fast mode. But if you go even faster, you'll see that this is one of the few devices in the game that can just do everything so quick. Everything works on this. It is so quick, it cannot be stressed how fast the Dasung is. These guys pioneered some of the fastest refresh, upwards of 20 different speed modes on some of their monitors. These guys are the ones to get if you want an instant, quick gratification speed mode. They do lack some features like touch pens, note-taking layers, etc., but you cannot doubt their speed. It's crazy. Yes, it comes equipped with Google Play, so you're able to download anything you want. You can even watch videos, and we'll show you some videos later. You can play games. You can download basically anything you want, because this is a tablet first and foremost, and it is a monitor second. This is actually a dual use case device if you missed the front intro, but don't worry about that. You can long press on anything and uninstall it, like QQ, for example. We don't need that. We don't want that. And you can go ahead and sideload in your own apps as well from ES File Manager, File Explorer, Astro. It doesn't really matter. Even the root storage, you can do that, no problem. Starting off with Manga, we are going to leave this in a moderate M4, and we are on fast plus plus. We can also change that contrast like this to make it lighter or darker. darker, you'll see that if you go over to the 0 contrast or 1, it's very light in the background, but as you add more, it adds more detail. So you can swipe like this and the thing is just very, very fast. Now something you can do on Google Books that you can't do on other applications is double tap and it will expand the speech bubble. Not only does it expand the speech bubble, it doesn't zoom in. It gives you a rendered image of a perfectly keyed out, bigger speech bubble. They're almost individual standalone elements, and I very much appreciate that. It looks very high quality. Again, if you want a little bit more boost in quality, turn off that fast plus, change the image mode to your heart's content, and now it almost looks like real paper. This is a high quality screen. It is not 300 ppi, but honestly, you're splitting hairs looking at it with your naked eye. If you take it under a microscope, the pixel density is going to matter, but just looking at it for face value, it's quite nice. This handles manga very well for its size. You know, it used to be a point of concern when it comes to ebooks how smooth or how well something displayed itself. Things have really stabilized since 2018-19. Basically everything around ebooks and tablets and e-notes, they're all going to be good at e-reading. It's all going to be super capable because these devices nowadays from Onyx and Dasung and Bigme, they're hyper capable of doing anything. You can moderate and mitigate everything with your glow light, your contrast dial, your speed modes, your refresh rates. It's never going to be bad anymore because these units are overclocked and overpowered. They can do animations, they can do pinch and zooms, there's just nothing they really can't tackle. So a lot of these assessments of what's a good experience or not is all going to come down to the app you're using. I personally like Google Play Books. You can use Aldeco, you can use Moon Plus Reader, you can use PDF, Adobe if you want to read some ebook formats like that. You get different settings on everything. It's all going to come down to a subjective opinion of what you like most. I like Google Play Books. It has a decent amount of animations. You can change different settings in the back end. You can change the overall look of everything. You have a lot of settings when it comes to font augmentation. You have different default page layouts. You can do 2 pages side by side if you want a more of a split, and of course this device does have auto rotate off or on, so there's really a lot you can do with a Dasung, it being as big as it is. It's just, I really wish it wasn't as heavy as this is because it doesn't need to be that heavy for a tablet, and it doesn't need to be this heavy for a monitor. Monitors are traditionally lighter than other units as they have less things in it, but I guess the dual purpose of having everything in one hood, under one hood I should say, just makes it an absolute behemoth. But because it's also a monitor, we're going to look into that right now. Dual use case of it being a monitor and a tablet, Google Play on board and an absolutely huge screen makes this something that can honestly be used as a multifunctional unit. However, out of the gates, it's going to cost you $900 USD. There's no Wacom or note-taking layer, and as it is extremely heavy to hold in your hands, it hurts the unit a little bit, as if they just made it a touch bit lighter, it would have been more wieldy. All things considered, this is one of those rare devices that falls into a multi-category, and you're never really going to be trapped or left wondering as to what you want to use it for. Dasung has always been the type of company who never plays it safe. They're always trying new things, and this definitely is taking the helm from other devices as big as even Onyx with the Tab X. More information down below. Thanks for watching.